The 1980 quarter-dollar coin, commonly referred to as the Washington quarter, is a notable piece of U.S. currency. It carries both historical and numismatic significance. This explores its design, production details, and some intriguing facts about its place in American coinage history. The obverse of the 1980 quarter showcases a profile portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, it has become one of the most recognizable coin portraits in the world. George Washington's right-facing profile is depicted with a serious and dignified expression, emphasizing his leadership and legacy. Liberty, positioned above Washington's head, symbolizing the ideals he championed. In God We Trust, displayed to the left of Washington's portrait, reflecting the United States' motto and values. The date 1980 is inscribed at the bottom center, marking the year of minting. If present, the mint mark appears just above the date. Coins minted in Philadelphia lack a mint mark, while those from Denver are marked with a D. San Francisco proof coins are marked with an S. The reverse of the 1980 quarter continues the original design by John Flanagan, featuring a bald eagle as the central motif. This imagery reflects strength, patriotism, and the nation's readiness to defend its values. The bald eagle, a national symbol of the United States, is depicted with its wings spread, exuding majesty and power. The eagle clutches a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing military strength and readiness. Positioned beneath the eagle, an olive branch represents the desire for peace. United States of America encircles the top of the reverse side, affirming the coin's national origin. E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. This phrase is positioned above the eagle, symbolizing the unity of the states. Quarter dollar, displayed at the bottom, indicating the coin's denomination. The coin is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel over a core of pure copper. Diameter, 24.26 millimeters. Weight, 5.67 grams. The Washington quarter was initially introduced in 1932 as a one-year commemorative coin, but its popularity led to continued production. By 1980, it had been in circulation for almost 50 years, making it a familiar and trusted coin for everyday transactions. The 1980 version was not a special commemorative or rare issue, but it is significant because it reflects the ongoing use of the Washington design during an era of economic fluctuation in the United States. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. The rising cost of silver forced the U.S. Mint to switch to the current copper-nickel composition in 1965. By 1980, the clad quarters had become standard, but many collectors still cherish the earlier silver versions. The 1980s proof quarters, struck at the San Francisco Mint, are highly polished coins made specifically for collectors. These coins are distinguishable by their sharp details and mirror-like finish. Unlike other years, 1980 quarters do not feature major errors or varieties that command significant premiums in the collector's market. However, coins in uncirculated condition, or with proof, finishes remain attractive to numismatists. The 1980 quarter represents a slice of American history during the late 20th century. The coin circulated widely during a time of technological advancement and cultural shifts, making it a tangible connection to everyday life in the United States during the 1960s, that era. While 1,980 quarters in circulated condition are common and usually worth only their face value, Uncirculated and proof versions are more valuable to collectors. Coins graded by professional organizations such as PCGS or NGC and in pristine condition can sell for higher prices, often ranging from $5 to $50, depending on the grade. Some collectors also search for coins with unique mint errors, such as off-center strikes or double die errors, which can significantly enhance the coin's value. However, no widely known major errors are associated with the 1980 Washington quarter. The 1980 $quarter coin, though not particularly rare or valuable in most cases, holds historical and cultural significance as part of the enduring legacy of the Washington Quarter series. Its design honors one of America's most iconic figures while serving as a testament to the durability and practicality of U.S. coinage. Whether you are a seasoned collector or simply interested in the history of everyday objects, the 1980 quarter is an intriguing piece of numismatic history. According to the NGC Price Guide, a Washington quarter from 1980 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market, 1980p quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $100. The 1981 $quarter, a piece of U.S. history, is part of the Washington Quarter series that has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1932. These coins hold not only monetary value, but also cultural, historical, and numismatic significance. Understanding the 1981 quarter sheds light on its unique characteristics, its place in U.S. minting history, and some interesting facts that make it an intriguing piece for collectors. The obverse of the 1981 quarter prominently features a profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This portrait, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, has been the hallmark of the Washington Quarter series since its introduction in 1932. Washington faces left, with his hair tied back in a simple Q. Liberty. The word liberty is inscribed prominently above his head, symbolizing the nation's foundational principles. Date: 1981. The minting year is located at the bottom of the coin, below Washington's neckline. In God we trust. The national motto is inscribed to the left of Washington's profile, emphasizing the country's commitment to faith and governance. A small letter indicating the mint location appears just above the date. The reverse of the 1981 quarter retains the original bald eagle design by John Flanagan. This motif is rich with symbolic imagery, reflecting the nation's strength and dedication to peace. The eagle is depicted with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows. This signifies readiness to defend the nation if necessary. Positioned beneath the eagle, the olive branch symbolizes a desire for peace. United States of America. The name of the country is inscribed along the upper rim, emphasizing the coin's origin. E pluribus una eam. This Latin phrase meaning out of many one is placed above the eagle, representing the unity of the states. Quarter dollar. The coin's denomination is displayed at the bottom, completing the reverse design. The 1981 quarter continued this classic design, made primarily of a copper-nickel clad composition with a copper core. It measured 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighed 5.67 grams. This design remained consistent until 1998, when the U.S. Mint introduced the 50-state quarters program. In 1981, the quarters were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, P. Denver, D. San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia and Denver quarters were intended for circulation, and their respective mint marks, P or D, can be found on the obverse, just above the date. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors, bearing an S mint mark. These proof coins were struck with specially polished dies, giving them a mirror-like finish and finer details. The 1981 S proof quarter is particularly prized by collectors. There are two varieties of the S mint mark: Type 1, filled S, and Type 2, clear S. Type 2 is rarer and commands a higher value in the numismatic market. 1981 saw a high production volume, with the Philadelphia Mint producing over 601 million quarters and the Denver Mint producing over 575 million. This reflects the coin's role as a workhorse in daily transactions at the time. Despite being minted over 4 decades ago, many 1981 quarters remain in circulation due to their durability. Finding one today is not uncommon, though their wear and tear often reflect their years of use. The 1980s marked a period of economic transition in the U.S., with inflation influencing the purchasing power of coins. A quarter in 1981 had more buying power than it does today, making it a crucial denomination for small transactions. Coin collectors and enthusiasts often search for minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies, which can make a 1981 quarter significantly more valuable. The 1981 quarter dollar is a fascinating relic from a pivotal era in U.S. history. Its widespread circulation, classic design, and collectible variations, such as the 1981 S Type 2 proof, contribute to its appeal among numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Whether encountered in daily transactions or carefully stored in a collector's album, this coin embodies the artistry, utility, and enduring legacy of American currency. In circulated condition, a 1981 D Washington quarter is worth between $0.3 and $0.85. These coins are common in mint state and even in gem condition, but will fetch slightly more. You can expect about $3 for a 1981 quarter graded MS-61 and up to $200 for one graded MS-67. The 1982 Washington quarter holds a unique place in American numismatics. While it might appear to be a regular coin at first glance, its story reveals several interesting facts that make it a fascinating subject for collectors. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features a profile of Washington based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's bust. The reverse showcases a bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and preparedness, with olive branches beneath to signify peace. By 1982, this iconic design had already been in circulation for 50 years. The quarters, produced in 1982, were struck at two primary mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint lack a mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint bear a small D mint mark on the obverse to the right of Washington's neck. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1982 quarter is the absence of any proof coins or mint sets. This was the result of budget cuts by the U.S. Mint, which decided not to produce these collectibles that year. As a consequence, all 1982 quarters were made for general circulation, making high-quality specimens particularly rare. This scarcity has led collectors to value well-preserved examples much more than they would for other years. Another notable feature is the material composition. Like all quarters minted after 1965, the 1982 Washington quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper and an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition, chosen for its durability and cost-effectiveness, replaced the 90% silver alloy used in earlier quarters. Finding a 1982 quarter in pristine condition can be a challenge. Circulated examples are common, but those in uncirculated or near mint condition are scarce. This rarity is heightened by the lack of mint sets for the year. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, can fetch significant premiums on the numismatic market. Adding to its allure, errors and varieties from 1982 quarters are of great interest to collectors. Misstrikes, double dies, and other anomalies are always sought after, and can command much higher prices than regular examples. These errors provide a glimpse into the manufacturing challenges faced by the U.S. Mint during that time. The 1982 quarter was produced during a time of economic recovery in the United States following a period of high inflation and unemployment in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Coins from this period reflect the Mint's cost-saving measures, as evidenced by the decision to halt production of proof and mint sets. Additionally, the 1982 quarter represents a pivotal moment in American coinage. With the bicentennial celebration of the U.S. Constitution approaching in 1987, the Mint began experimenting with new designs and themes for commemorative coins. Although the Washington quarter's design would not change until the 1999 introduction of the 50-state quarters program, the 1982 coin stands as a reminder of a simpler and more uniform era of American coinage. The 1982 quarter-dollar coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a historical artifact. Its lack of proof sets, scarcity in high grades, and role in the broader context of U.S. mint operations make it a compelling topic for numismatists. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual enthusiast, the 1982 Washington quarter offers a glimpse into the intricacies of coin production and the economic realities of its time. So, the next time you come across one, take a moment to appreciate its unique story and the enduring legacy of American coinage. According to the NGC price guide, a Washington quarter from 1982 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market 1982, P quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $1,700. The 1984 quarter-dollar coin is part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1932. Designed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin series features the first president's profile on the obverse and a heraldic eagle on the reverse. While the 1984 Washington quarter may seem ordinary at first glance, it holds several interesting historical and numismatic details that collectors and history enthusiasts find fascinating. The obverse of the 1984 quarter features a profile of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. Washington faces left, with the inscriptions "Liberty" above his head, and "In God We Trust" to his right. Below his profile is the year of minting, 1984. The reverse side showcases the image of an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing readiness for war and peace. Above the eagle, the words "United States of America" are curved, with "E pluribus unum," Latin for "out of many, one," just below. In 1984, quarters were produced at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint exclusively struck proof coins for collectors. Proof coins, distinguished by their high-quality mirror-like finish and frosted details, are highly sought after by numismatists. The 1984 quarter is made from a copper, nickel-clad composition, introduced in 1965 to replace the 90% silver content in quarters minted earlier. This change was driven by the rising cost of silver, making the copper-nickel alloy a more economical choice for circulating coins. The coin's composition includes an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. It weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. The 1984 quarter reflects the state of the U.S. economy and culture during the mid-1980s. Inflation was relatively stable, and coin usage remained high in daily transactions. These coins were essential in vending machines, parking meters, and payphones, which were integral to American life at the time. Today, the 1984 quarter serves as a nostalgic reminder of these now largely obsolete technologies. Some 1984 quarters are particularly valuable due to minting errors or unusual features. Examples include double-die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process, or off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned in the press. Such coins can fetch significantly higher prices among collectors depending on their rarity and condition. Most 1984 quarters in circulated condition hold only face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated coins and proof coins can be worth more, particularly those with pristine finishes graded highly by professional grading services. An uncirculated 1984 quarter from the Denver or Philadelphia Mint might sell for a few dollars, while a San Francisco proof coin in perfect condition could command an even higher premium. The 1984 quarter features a reeded edge with 119 ridges. This design was initially intended to prevent people from shaving off precious metal from earlier silver coins. The olive branch and arrows symbolize the dual commitment to peace and readiness for defense, a theme deeply rooted in American values. Quarters from this era often serve as a nostalgic link to the past, especially for those who remember their use in everyday life during the 1980s. The 1984 quarter-dollar coin is more than just a piece of money. It's a snapshot of American history, art, and culture. Whether studied for its design, appreciated for its historical context, or sought after for its collectible value, this coin captures the spirit of a bygone era in U.S. coinage. Collectors and enthusiasts alike continue to value it for its connection to both the past and the enduring legacy of the Washington Quarter series. According to the NGC Price Guide, a Washington Quarter from 1984 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market, 1984 D quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $550. The 1985 quarter-dollar coin, part of the Washington Quarter series, represents a critical period in American numismatics and history. While it may seem like an ordinary piece of currency to the casual observer, this coin holds significant historical, cultural, and numismatic interest. Here, we will explore the design, production, and intriguing facts about the 1985 quarter. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the quarter features a profile portrait of Washington on the obverse, facing left. Above Washington's head is the word "Liberty," while the phrase "In God We Trust" appears to his left. The minting year, 1985, is engraved at the bottom. The reverse design showcases an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows, flanked by olive branches symbolizing peace and strength. Above the eagle is the inscription, "United States of America," and below it is the denomination, quarter dollar. The motto, "E pluribus unum," Latin for "out of many one," appears on a ribbon above the eagle. The 1985 quarter was minted in large quantities at two facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark. No proof versions of the 1985 quarter were struck for circulation. However, special proof sets were produced at the San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, for collectors. The coin was composed of a copper nickel clad, a durable and cost-effective material introduced in 1965 to replace the 90% silver quarters minted prior to that year. This change was a response to rising silver prices, making the older coins too valuable to remain in circulation. The 1985 quarter is far from rare, as it was minted in large quantities to meet the growing demand for coins in circulation. Over 775 million coins were struck in Philadelphia, and nearly 520 million were produced in Denver. By 1985, the Washington quarter design had remained virtually unchanged for over 50 years, demonstrating its enduring popularity. It wasn't until 1999, with the introduction of the 50 state quarters program, that significant alterations were made to the reverse design. While the 1985 quarter holds little numismatic value in circulated condition due to its high mintage, uncirculated and proof versions are sought after by collectors. A pristine, uncirculated quarter can fetch higher prices, especially if it exhibits strong luster and minimal blemishes. In 1985, the United States was experiencing a period of economic growth under President Ronald Reagan. The quarter from this era symbolizes a nation looking forward with optimism while honoring its historical roots. Coin collectors often hunt for error coins, and the 1985 quarter is no exception. Misstrikes, off-center strikes, or coins with doubled dies can command a premium in the numismatic market. The 1985 Washington quarter reflects an era when coins served as both functional currency and a medium for national identity. While it is not particularly rare or valuable, it serves as a snapshot of American life in the mid-1880s. For collectors and enthusiasts, the coin is a reminder of the enduring artistry and utility of the Washington Quarter series, which has remained a staple of American pocket change for nearly a century. Whether used in everyday transactions or housed in a collector's album, the 1985 quarter continues to tell the story of America's past, one coin at a time. According to the NGC Price Guide, a Washington quarter from 1985, in circulated condition, is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market, 1985 P quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $1,700. The 1986 quarter-dollar coin, part of the Washington Quarter series, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. While it may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, it holds a unique place in the context of U.S. coinage, reflecting both historical traditions and the evolving nature of American currency. This explores the history, design, and interesting facts surrounding the 1986 quarter dollar, shedding light on its significance. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features a portrait of George Washington, while the reverse originally depicted an eagle with outstretched wings. The 1986 quarter dollar is part of this long-running series, which has undergone several design changes over the decades. By 1986, the Washington quarter had become a staple of American currency. It was minted in large quantities, primarily for circulation, and was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This composition was introduced in 1965, replacing the earlier silver quarters that were minted from 1932 to 1964. The shift to clad coinage was a response to the rising price of silver, which made it economically unfeasible to continue producing silver coins for circulation. The 1986 quarter dollar retains the classic design elements of the Washington Quarter series. The obverse features the left-facing profile of George Washington with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year 1986 below the portrait. The reverse depicts a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The inscriptions, United States of America, a pluribus unum, and quarter dollar surround the eagle. One interesting aspect of the 1986 quarter is its mint marks. Coins minted in Philadelphia, the main U.S. mint facility, bear no mint mark, while those minted in Denver have a D, and those from San Francisco have an S. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins for collectors in 1986, which are distinguished by their mirror-like finish and sharp details. These proof coins are highly sought after by collectors. The 1986 quarter dollar marked the end of an era for the Washington Quarter Series. In 1999, the U.S. Mint introduced the 50 state quarters program, which replaced the heraldic eagle design with rotating designs representing each state. This makes the 1986 quarter one of the last coins to feature the original reverse design that had been in use since 1932. The 1986 quarter dollar was produced in large quantities, with over 1.1 billion coins minted across all facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of these coins, followed by Denver. The San Francisco Mint, as mentioned earlier, focused on proof coins for collectors, with a mintage of just over 3 million. While the 1986 quarter dollar is not considered rare, certain varieties and conditions can make it valuable to collectors. For example, proof coins in pristine condition or coins with unusual errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can fetch higher prices on the numismatic market. The mid-1980s were a transitional period for U.S. coinage. The 1986 quarter dollar was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new technologies and materials to improve coin production. This era also saw the introduction of commemorative coins and the eventual shift toward more innovative designs, such as the 50 state quarters program. The 1986 quarter dollar reflects the cultural and economic landscape of the United States in the mid-1980s. This was a period of economic growth and technological advancement, and the coin serves as a tangible reminder of that era. For many, it also represents a connection to the past, as it was one of the last quarters to feature the traditional design that had been in circulation for over 5 decades. The 1986 quarter dollar coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a window into American history and numismatic tradition. Its design, mintage, and historical context make it a fascinating subject for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. While it may not be the rarest or most valuable coin, its place in the evolution of U.S. coinage ensures its enduring significance. Whether you encounter it in your pocket change or in a collector's album, the 1986 quarter dollar is a small but meaningful artifact of America's rich monetary heritage. According to the NGC Price Guide, a Washington quarter from 1986 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market, 1986 P quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $625. The 1987 quarter dollar, part of the Washington Quarter Series, is a fascinating piece of American coinage that reflects both the history of U.S. currency and the cultural significance of its design. While it may not be the rarest or most valuable coin in the eyes of collectors, the 1987 quarter holds a unique place in numismatic history due to its production, design, and the era in which it was minted. This explores the history, design, and interesting facts surrounding the 1987 quarter dollar. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse features a portrait of Washington, while the reverse originally depicted a heraldic eagle. The design underwent several changes over the years, but the 1987 quarter retained the traditional imagery that had become iconic. By 1987, the U.S. Mint was producing coins in large quantities to meet the demands of a growing economy. The 1987 quarter was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which were specially struck for collectors and featured a mirror-like finish. These proof coins are highly sought after by numismatists for their craftsmanship and aesthetic appeal. The obverse of the 1987 quarter features the familiar left-facing profile of George Washington, based on a sculpture by Jean-Antoine Houdon. The inscription Liberty appears above Washington's head, while In God We Trust is located to the left of his portrait. The year 1987 is inscribed below the bust. The reverse of the coin showcases a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $quarter encircle the design. This classic imagery reflects the patriotic themes that have been a hallmark of U.S. coinage since its inception. The 1987 quarter was produced in large quantities, with over 1.1 billion coins struck across all mints. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of these coins, while the Denver Mint contributed a significant portion as well. The San Francisco Mint, however, focused exclusively on proof coins, with a mintage of just over 3 million. Quarters minted in Philadelphia in 1987 do not bear a mint mark, a tradition that dates back to the early days of U.S. coinage. This can make identifying their origin a bit of a challenge for novice collectors. The 1987 S proof quarters are particularly prized by collectors. These coins were struck using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a stunning mirror-like finish. Proof coins are often kept in protective cases to preserve their condition. Like all quarters minted after 1965, the 1987 quarter is composed of a clad metal combination. 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This change was made to reduce production costs and eliminate the use of silver in circulating coinage. The 1987 quarter was part of a series that remained largely unchanged for decades, reflecting the stability and continuity of American currency. It was also minted during a period of economic growth and technological advancement, making it a symbol of its time. While the 1987 quarter is not considered rare, certain varieties and conditions can make it valuable to collectors. Proof coins, especially those in pristine condition, can fetch higher prices. Additionally, errors or unusual mint marks, though rare for this year, can increase a coin's desirability. For most collectors, the 1987 quarter is an accessible and affordable piece of history. It serves as a reminder of the enduring legacy of George Washington and the artistic and technical achievements of the U.S. Mint. The 1987 quarter dollar is more than just a piece of currency. It is a window into American history and culture. Its design, rooted in tradition, and its production during a dynamic period in U.S. history make it a compelling subject for numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Whether as part of a collection or a casual find in everyday change, the 1987 quarter continues to hold a special place in the story of American coinage. A 1987 P quarter graded MS-60, the lowest grade for mint state coins, is worth only around $1. That rises to $18 at MS-65. From there, values continue to rise steadily with condition. The independent coin grading agency, the PCGS, values an example graded M66 at $55 and one at MS66 Plus at $85. The 1988 quarter dollar coin is a fascinating piece of American currency that reflects both the nation's history and the evolution of its coinage. While it may seem like a simple piece of change to the casual observer, this coin carries with it a rich legacy, interesting design elements, and a connection to the broader narrative of U.S. coinage. The 1988 quarter dollar is part of the Washington Quarter Series, which began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1988, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for over 5 decades, and its design had become iconic. The 1988 quarter was minted during a period of relative stability in U.S. coinage. It was struck at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins for collectors, while Philadelphia and Denver focused on circulation strikes. The obverse of the 1988 quarter features the left-facing profile of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This design was based on a bust of Washington created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in the late 18th century. Flanagan's rendition has been praised for its dignified and timeless portrayal of the first U.S. president. The reverse of the coin depicts a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. This design, also by Flanagan, symbolizes America's readiness to defend itself while striving for peace. The reverse design was used from 1932 until 1998, when the State Quarters program introduced new reverse designs. One interesting fact about the 1988 quarter is that it was among the last years of the original heraldic eagle reverse design. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, which featured unique reverse designs for each state. This makes the 1988 quarter part of the classic era of Washington quarters, before the series underwent significant changes. The 1988 quarter was produced in large quantities, as it was intended for circulation. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 562,052,000 coins, while the Denver Mint produced around 596,810,000 coins. The San Francisco Mint, which focused on proof coins for collectors, minted about 3,262,948 proof quarters. For example, some quarters may exhibit doubling in the design elements due to misaligned dies during the minting process. These doubled die varieties are highly sought after by numismatists. For most collectors, the 1988 quarter is a common coin and can be found in circulation or purchased for a small premium in uncirculated or proof condition. However, its value lies in its historical significance and its place in the broader Washington Quarter series. Proof coins, particularly those in pristine condition, are more valuable and are often collected as part of annual proof sets. One notable aspect of the 1988 quarter is its composition. Like all quarters minted since 1965, it is made of a clad composition, outer layers of copper nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This change was made in 1965 to eliminate the use of silver in circulating coinage, as the price of silver had risen to the point where the metal content of coins exceeded their face value. The 1988 quarter represents the end of an era in U.S. coinage. It was one of the last years before the State Quarters program revolutionized the design of the quarter in 1999. Quarters, minted in Philadelphia in 1988, do not bear a mint mark, as was customary at the time. This practice changed in later years when the Philadelphia Mint began adding a P mint mark to its coins. The 1988 proof quarters minted in San Francisco are highly polished and struck multiple times to create a mirror-like finish. These coins are prized by collectors for their beauty and craftsmanship. The 1988 quarter circulated during a time of significant cultural and technological change in the United States. It was the era of the late Cold War, the rise of personal computers, and the beginning of the Internet age. Holding a 1988 quarter is like holding a small piece of that transformative period. The 1988 quarter dollar coin may not be the rarest or most valuable piece of U.S. currency, but it holds a special place in American numismatic history. As part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, it represents a bridge between the classic era of U.S. coinage and the modern dynamic designs that followed. Whether you're a seasoned collector or simply someone who appreciates history, the 1988 quarter is a reminder of the enduring legacy of George Washington and the evolution of American money. According to the NGC Price Guide, a Washington quarter from 1988 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market, 1988 D quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition sell for as much as $495. The 1989 quarter-dollar coin, part of the Washington Quarter series, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. While it may seem like a simple piece of currency, this coin carries with it a rich legacy, unique design elements, and interesting historical context that make it a subject of interest for collectors and historians alike. The Washington Quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features a left-facing profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The reverse originally depicted a heraldic eagle, but this design was later replaced in 1999 with state-specific designs as part of the 50 State Quarters program. The 1989 quarter-dollar coin was minted during a period when the United States was experiencing significant economic and cultural changes. The late 1980s were marked by the end of the Cold War, the rise of technology, and a growing interest in collecting and preserving historical artifacts, including coins. The 1989 quarter retains the classic design elements established in 1932. The obverse features George Washington's profile with the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year 1989. The reverse showcases the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The inscriptions, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and "Quarter Dollar," encircle the design. The coin is composed of a clad composition consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to an inner core of pure copper. This composition gives the coin its distinctive silver appearance while ensuring durability for circulation. In 1989, quarters were produced at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins for collectors, which feature a sharper strike and a mirror-like finish. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for general circulation. One interesting aspect of the 1989 quarter is the potential for die varieties and errors. Collectors often search for coins with unique characteristics, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes. While these varieties are rare, they add an element of excitement to the hobby of coin collecting. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced 512,868,000 quarters. The Denver Mint produced 896,535,597 quarters, and the San Francisco Mint produced 3,220,194 proof quarters. These high mintage numbers mean that the 1989 quarter is relatively common in circulation, but proof coins and mint condition specimens are highly sought after by collectors. The 1989 quarter represents a transitional period in U.S. coinage. It was one of the last years before the introduction of the 50 State Quarters program in 1999, which revolutionized the design of the quarter and sparked a renewed interest in coin collecting. The late 1980s were a time of significant cultural and technological change. The 1989 quarter, while seemingly ordinary, serves as a tangible reminder of this era. It was a time when the Berlin Wall fell, signaling the end of the Cold War, and the Internet was in its infancy. poised to transform global communication. While the 1989 quarter is not considered rare, it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Coins in mint condition, especially those with high grades from professional grading services, can command a premium. Additionally, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are prized for their exceptional quality and beauty. The 1989 quarter-dollar coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a window into a pivotal moment in American history. Its classic design, connection to George Washington, and role in the broader context of U.S. coinage make it a fascinating subject for collectors and historians. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual observer, the 1989 quarter offers a glimpse into the past and a reminder of the enduring legacy of American coinage. According to the NGC Price Guide, a Washington quarter from 1989 in circulated condition is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. However, on the open market, 1989 D quarters in pristine uncirculated condition sell for as much as $625.